Donald Trump is a racist, but that's not what we have to prove. Just look at his record. He started with the Central Park Five. His political career started by saying a black man was not a real American. This is the man that said when we saw the march in Charlottesville.
I can't believe, well, maybe I can if I think about it, but that Al Sharpton is still taken seriously. This man has been race baiting since he came out of his mother's womb, I suspect. But certainly since 1987, when his biggest race hoax about the Tawana Brawley rape and assault in New York City, where he accused Stephen Pagonis, I think he was the AG in New York, never apologized about that. Had that woman, that black woman, all in feces and messed up for his racial cause. Let's go to, I think
once again, here we are with Al Sharpton. Now he's still, when I saw this this clip, I actually had to check the date because I said, is this an old clip? No. They are still calling President Trump racist. Take a look. This is clip 5.
Think that we should not bite the bait of having to prove Donald Trump is a racist. I think clearly I've known Donald Trump. I've marched on him, and then he tried to be friendly. He's come to my convention. I believe he's a racist, but that's not what we have to prove. Just look at his record. He has always race baited. He started with the Central Park five innocent young men in New York. He called for the death penalty. Or has he ever called for the death penalty for anybody else? His political career started by saying a black man was not a real American. He was born in Kenya. Birtherism. Has he questioned even Joe Biden's birthplace? I mean, everything about race, he's always race baited against blacks. So all you got to do is look at his record. And I've said to any of those that support him, show me where he was on the right side of any race issue. We forget. This is the man that said when we saw the march in Charlottesville.
Nothing, absolutely nothing he just said proved that Donald Trump is a racist. Shelley, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, I can't believe, well, maybe I can if I think about it, but that Al Sharpton is still taken seriously. Race battle, you know, the left always accuses others of what they are actually doing and what they have done. This man has been race baiting since he came out of his mother's womb, I suspect. But certainly since 1987, when his biggest race hoax about the Tawana Brawley rape and assault in New York City, where he accused Stephen Pagonis, I think he was the AG in New York, never apologized about that. Had that woman, that black woman, all in feces and messed up for his racial cause. Let's go to, I think it was 1991, Crown Heights, the Jewish riots that he incited because of an accident of a black boy that was hit by a Jewish driver. He incited riots there, had signage basically, you know, death to the Jews, things like that. His history is always overlooked or even glossed over totally and made to look like it's something else when it really isn't. He is the biggest, if not one of the biggest, race hustlers in America. I'm going to say the world, but certainly in the United States of America. He gets away with it. He has gotten away with it. And he has a home there on MSNBC. He has never apologized for those things.
No, never, ever, ever. This man is crooked.
There's parts in his head.
Right. Yes, exactly. He is crooked as the day is long. He should never in life talk about somebody else being a fraud or a racist, because when you look it up in the dictionary, you see his skinny, permed head. I mean, this is ridiculous. And, you know, they keep talking about this Central Park Five. Trump was not the only one who believed that they did this.
Right.
Is that correct?
No, he was not the only one. And again, it came out later that, you know, these 5 young guys were exonerated or whatever you call it, pardoned. But at the time, they were going by the evidence. Trump was not no, he was not. What's his name? Al Sharpton has been, I'm going to say, involved with racist accusations when Obama was president, accusing the professor here in Maryland, whose house it was of being a racist because the police came and asked him for ID. Because he was going into his own house, but he had no ID and the alarms were going off. I mean, you say the word And Al Sharpton is going to add the ACE, and then he's also going to add his ass in the mix so he can get his own publicity.
Yeah, it's terrible. It is terrible. And again, I'm not sure if it was part of this clip we did. He also said in that diatribe that Trump said the whole thing about Charlottesville.
No, he didn't.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I thought that was part of that clip. In that same clip, he continues to push the lie that Trump was saying there's good people on both sides in Charlottesville. And it is a lie. Anyone can go and Google the entire video and speech of what Trump said about Charlottesville, and you can clearly see that this narrative that the left has continued to push about this is a lie.
It is a lie.
It is a lie. And we have the clips. I want you guys to see this. This is clip number 7.
I'm not putting anybody on a moral plane. What I'm saying is this. You had a group on one side and you had a group on the other, and they came at each other with clubs, and it was vicious, and it was horrible, and it was a horrible thing to watch. But there is another side. There was a group on this side, you can call them the left, or you've just called them the left, that came violently attacking the other group. So you can say what you want, but that's the way it is.
On both sides, sir? You said there was hatred, there was violence on both sides.
Well, I do think there's blame. Yes, I think there's blame on both sides. You look at both sides. I think there's blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it, and you don't have any doubt about it either. And if you reported it accurately, you would say.
Kill the person. Heather hired
Charlottesville. They showed up in Charlottesville to protest.
Excuse me. They didn't put themselves down as the owner. And you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group. Excuse me. I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. No, George Washington was a slave owner. Was George Washington a slave owner? So will George Washington now lose his status? Are we going to take down, are we going to take down statues to George Washington? How about Thomas Jefferson? What do you think of Thomas Jefferson? You like?
All right, so there is the infamous clip, and there was another conference presser that he did immediately after the Charlottesville incident, where he really went in and talked about how this was awful, we need to come together. Right. It was at a veterans situation, and then this one that we just showed was the second clip, or the second time he approached it.
Right.
We can see it's nothing wrong with what he said.
It's nothing wrong with what he said, but again, the left is going to take anything that he says and just expand on it and make it, they're going to make it for their own racist purposes. That's what they're going to do. Any protest, you have a side A or side B or whatever you want to call them, who for or against. And in any protest, you're going to have people who have good intentions about whatever cause that they are supporting or opposing. That is just a fact, whatever the issue may be. Then you will have some rabble rousers. You're going to even have some, like he said, some bad people on both sides. That's all he was saying. That's what he said. Not even all he was saying. That's what he said. But the media has been pushing this lie amongst others, but they seem to talk about the biggest lie of all, the one that they started along with the DNC, this Russia Gate lie. They never talk about that, do they?
No, they don't. And we are living in dangerous times because the media now has definitely, as President Trump said, become an enemy of the state. They are simply propagandizing this information. They have they are not trying to seek truth. They are not trying to put out facts. They are just propagandic tools of the left.
That's it.
And so this is why platforms like ourselves and others are very important. I mean, you could easily play the tape and see that he did not say anything wrong, but this is a major lie that has been pushed and pushed. As you can see on MSNBC, they continue to push this lie.
Yeah. And they're going to continue even more so over this summer. And because we have an election this year, they are scared. They are scared because they're losing some of their base voters, black voters, particularly black men. They are very afraid. Trump's popularity has not fallen. He has more money. He's raised more money over the last couple of weeks since he's been sentenced. So they are very afraid, and this is what they're going to do. They're going to keep upping the ante.
Yeah, and I mean, it is very troubling. It is very troubling the lengths that they will go to cover up or push out their whatever they're pushing. I mean, it's very scary. And if they're doing this, what else are they doing that we don't know about? I mean, this is what I'm talking. We just played, we had Moms for Liberty on earlier, and they talked about Dr. Fauci. Again, he's now flip-flopping on many of the things that he vehemently pushed. I remember like it was yesterday when it was right before Christmas. And remember that Christmas message that he sent out about the unvaccinated, how we're going to basically be lepers at our Christmas family events.
And don't go to Thanksgiving. And, and then after that, or in that time frame, they, if you will, the media, the government started really going after those who were unvaccinated, because now it was the war of the unvaccinated or something like that. So they went after unvaccinated people who all they were basically saying is, no, let's wait. We don't want this vaccine. Okay, but they destroy people's lives and livelihood.
Absolutely. I mean, so again, if they're doing this, and then we saw what they're doing using the justice system, weaponizing it against Trump, what the hell else are they doing?
Well,
what are they doing?